Moving on to our next speaker, I want to introduce to you a gentleman who has been one of the leading voices for school choice, and he said I could refer to him as Dr. Corey DeAngelis, also school choice evangelist. So if you would, give him a big hand, Dr. Corey DeAngelis.
How's everybody doing? It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. Look, 2023 needs to be the year of education freedom for Texas. Hey, just one thing. Thank you for the kind introduction. The liberal media did call me the school choice evangelist, but it kind of has a ring to it, doesn't it? DeAngelis, the evangelist. I almost thought, like, maybe I should put it on my Twitter. Let me do that real quick. Actually, I already did it. It's there. And you can call me doctor all you want, but the truth of the matter is I'm not a real doctor. I'm more like a Jill Biden doctor. I have a PhD in education policy, so I can help you with math. That might be about it. But look, we have seen a school choice revolution sweeping the nation, and it's absolutely glorious to see unfold because it's Randi Weingarten and the teachers union's own fault for overplaying their hand and awakening a sleeping giant. Parents who want more of a say in their kids' education. I mean, look, I woke up a couple of months ago, and it was like 5 a.m. Central Time. It was in a different time zone from where the tweet originated. And I thought I woke up to the headline of a Babylon Bee article, but it wasn't. And I thought I was dreaming. It wasn't that either. It was a tweet from Randi Weingarten from Ukraine saying that she was going to the front lines to assess the situation. The heck was she going to do, the teachers union boss going to do in Ukraine to fix anything? What was she going to do, make the war go remote like she did with the schools? But look, the thing is, the unintended benefit of the school closures and the unions lobbying the CDC to make it more difficult to reopen schools was that families got to see what was going on in the classroom. And Vodi Bakum said it best. We cannot continue to send our children to Caesar for their education and be surprised when they come home as Romans. But the good news is, that parents are no longer surprised. They've woken up and they're never going back to sleep. And we've seen a school choice revolution sweeping the nation in the past 2 years alone. 10% of states, 5 states, have gone all in on education freedom. Starting with Arizona, every single family in 2022, they signed into law, every single Republican legislator showed up and voted for their party platform issue for education freedom for all students. They did so with 1-seat majorities in Arizona. All families, regardless of income, regardless of background, regardless of zip code, will be able to take their children's state-funded education dollars, about $7,000 per student in Arizona, to the education provider of their choosing. That could be the public school. If you like your public school, you can keep your public school. Unlike with the whole doctor thing. But for real, this is actually the truth this time. But if not, you can take that funding to a state-funded education savings account directed by the parent. You can take it to a private school, a charter school, or a home-based education option. That's the gold standard of education freedom. And since then, red states have engaged in friendly competition to empower all parents with education freedom. Arkansas, just last week, went all in. We had Iowa and Utah this year going all in. Look at the Wall Street Journal's headline from this weekend. 2023 is already a record-setting year for school choice. It happened to be written by me. Go check it out. Maybe it's at the Capitol. But we've already had 3 states go all in this year, and it's a wildfire that has just ignited. And it's a great time to be a school choice advocate. And the reason that there has been change is because parents have woken up. They've become a new special interest group of sorts. And the main problem with K-12 education all across the country has been that for far too long in K-12 education, the only special interest represented the employees, the adults in the system. But now, thankfully, the kids have a union of their own, and they're called parents. And they are pushing back. They're pushing back at school board meetings, but they're also pushing back at the ballot box too. There wasn't a huge red wave that we wanted in 2022. There wasn't a blue wave, obviously, but there was a school choice wave. 76% of the candidates supported by my organization, the American Federation for Children, won their races in 2022. And we didn't just play in the easy ones. We focused on 69 incumbents in state legislatures and took out 40 of them. Look, you could say, hey, Corey, of course you're propping up your own organization and your track record, but you don't have to take my word for it. You can look at the liberal tears in the New Yorker magazine when the author lamented in the headline that education freedom candidates fared depressingly well in the midterms. Depressingly well? Well, you know what? You can just go cry harder, because although that's bad news for socialists who want to control other people's kids, that is great news for parents who just want more of a say in their own kids' education. And I think I've gone over my 5 minutes. I would like to do a thing that I've been doing all across the country. It's a selfie video. It's pretty simple. It's 4 words. I say fun students. The crowd says not systems. And I'll post it on Twitter if we're loud enough. If we got enough people in here, it should be a good showing. It is time for Texas to fund students, not systems. One more time for extra credit. It is time for Texas to fund students, not systems. Thank you guys so much.